whatever. All right, Bush finishes finishing that.
I'm always eating on the live stream. Everyone knows that.
Facts. Oh, yeah, we should be live right now. Wait for people to roll in, and we can send that draft link into the chat. So Bush is just getting his mucks in, quick little brekkie, quick little lunch, whatever you want to call it. And
yeah, I mean like salmon and rice, so it's lunch.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I just was not hungry this morning at all. I just couldn't eat. I literally made myself eggs, and they're just chilling on the stove right now.
Eggs are trash. That might be a hot take. I'm not a big eggs person.
That's on you. Here, let me put this link into the chat. We currently have 4 people in this mock draft. If you guys want in, just click the link I'm about to send. And beauty, there's 2 of you in here, so you'll definitely be guaranteed spots.
Yep. All right. While we're just waiting for people to file in, you want to talk about some of the signings that have happened recently? Any that you had any particular thoughts on?
The one that really strikes me as intrigue, a guy that I actually picked up a few shares of in early best ball drafts, Curtis Samuel to Washington. I really like the fit of him going there, reunited back with his old coach in Ron Rivera. The financials point to the fact that he's going to be heavily involved in this offense, making just under $12 million a year over the next 3. And this is a team in Washington who needed an identity apart from Terry McLaurin in that receiving game. Curtis Samuel can step in right away, be that kind of glue guy that fills in the unorthodox type spots of that offense. And I think it's a perfect signing. I think he could really be a good target hog for this team. Sorry, little voice crack. What are your thoughts on it?
I think the thing with Curtis Samuel is that he wasn't used properly until this year, and Ron Rivera had 3 years to use him correctly, and he didn't use him that way. So, I mean, the financials are encouraging. Obviously, he's projected to be the number 2 receiver on that offense based on the money he's making and the talent that he has. But I'd be interesting to see how he's used. Obviously, I would assume he's going to probably get overdrafted a little bit just because everyone is going to project the best case scenario that he is like the clear number 2, 1B option in the offense. And I think it might take a little bit of time between him being in a new with a new team and the quarterback change, everything. Like, he might get off to a bit of a slower start. So he might be a guy that I'm a little bit out on in redraft leagues, but he could be a guy that I'm willing to trade for maybe towards the later half of the season.
Yeah, I mean, and again, in these best ball drafts, initial ones, he was going in the 12th.
Yeah, in best ball, definitely.
And
he'll probably go in the 6th, 7th round in best ball now. I'm willing to bet he goes pretty high.
He'll probably go again, Will Fuller landed in Miami. Will Fuller was about a 7th round pick. He'll probably go in that Will Fuller type range, given the financial situation, given the projected role on the team. And it's interesting. What other signings are you looking at that are kind of appealing to you?
Real quick, I just want to acknowledge the chat here. Reese is in the chat. Reese, we're running a SuperFlex mock draft right now, Dynasty mock draft. So you are in the Listener Dynasty League. If you want some practice, maybe get a few ideas of who me and Danny look at. I'm actually picking from the selection I have in our Listener Dynasty League. So you might get some tips in that if you want to hop into the link that Danny threw into the description there.
For sure, yeah. Top comment is the link to the script, link to the chat or to the draft. If you click that, boom, you're in. We got the boy Tyler in. Let's go, bro. Picking the 103. We'd love to see it. I have to announce my jersey giveaway. Yeah, you got to do that soon, brother. You got to do that. Big ups at the 101 spot. Let's go. Got the boy Ravers knocking that 101. Let's see who you take. I'm so curious as to who your 101 is in the SuperFlex Dynasty League or mock. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I love to, but I'm listening and doing my honeydew list. Honeydew
list.
Oh, is that like a melon? I'm kidding.
I don't think that's a melon.
I think he means his to-do list, but yeah, no, that's do what you got to do, brother. Glad to hear that you're listening in regardless. So appreciate that. So we only got 5 in here.
Yeah, I think so just in general, the free agent market is weak right now. If you think about it, you got Juju Smith-Schuster signing for $8 million, Will Fuller signed for $10 million. Just a number of guys that we thought were going to get, I expected Juju to get way overpaid. I expected him to get $16 million a year on a 3-year deal or something like that. And right now, the highest priced free agent wide receiver was Corey Davis.
No, it was it Aguilar?
No. It was Corey Davis got 13.5, but Aguilar got 13. So like those two guys are the only ones that have gotten like decent money.
Corey Davis got 3 for 37.5.
Oh no, he got 12.5. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
Oh,
so
geez.
Nelson Aguilar is the highest paid wide receiver right now.
As we all predicted.
Oh God. Oh
yeah,
God,
man.
the Patriots.
Honestly, it might just go to show you that like the first day of free agency is like, you know how everyone's like pretends they're a genius on Twitter and they're like, oh yeah, like free agents never work out. The good teams never sign free agents. I think we might need to change that to the good teams never sign free agents on day one of free agency.
Yeah. I mean, or you're just like my Cowboys and you wait.
Sign nobody.
Well, I mean, they have like 3 safeties coming in next week. And one of the safeties that they're bringing in, they're looking at to play as Will. They want to move Keanu Neal to the Will linebacker position if they sign him. I wouldn't hate that, to be fair, because we have absolutely no
play linebacker.
It's like 6 foot, 6'1". He has the coverage ability at the linebacker position that we actually have none of right now. Like Jalen Smith is completely fucking lost, and Leighton Vander Esch is half the time just hurt. And I get that you could say the same thing about Keanu. Half the time he's just been hurt, but when he's on the field, he's been a difference maker. So if you can get that type of bargain on a $4 or $5 million per year type contract, I'd take that.
Fair enough. Yeah, I think the Will Fuller signing was one that was really interesting too, just because the way that Will Fuller, I thought he was going to get paid too. I thought he would get, I don't know, somewhere in the like 15 million per year range, but he's a guy that obviously took a 1-year deal, and it looks like that's what a lot of these wide receivers are doing. They're all just taking 1-year deals, and they're going to hit the market again next year, which I'm not exactly sure who's a free agent right now as of next year, but I'd imagine there's going to be a pretty big market, a pretty robust market at the position. So I think that's just an interesting trend across the league. And I think it's going to continue too with the guys that are still free agents. I think Kenny Golladay is going to take a 1-year deal. I don't think he's going to sign a big contract.
Bengals would be fun.
Yeah, like all these teams, like or all these players, like even like guys like Leonard Fournette and some guys that are still out there. I think they're all just going to take 1-year deals. Yeah,
no, I could definitely see it. So we'll get into the next question. Looking forward to hearing your dynasty value on Jacobs and DeAndre Swift post free agency. I'll tell you right now, DeAndre Swift, Jamal Williams. DeAndre Swift did not get that 85% workload that a James Robinson did last year anyways. So, yes, Jamal Williams signing, on theory, on Outlook, would limit his overall volume. But this is a guy who he's going to produce regardless of the volume. He's going to produce because he gets receiving volume, because he's a very efficient, very talented back. He was never going to just succeed because he got 350 touches. So I don't lower him whatsoever. For myself personally, he's still in that, for dynasty purposes, probably in that RB 12 to 15 type area is about where I still have him. But this doesn't really concern me whatsoever because, again, I was never expecting them to just give him the keys to the whole backfield. I expected them to bring in competition. Jamal Williams, if anything, just gives him a little less rundown in those first and second down between the tackles type carry situations. I am fine with this signing. What are your thoughts on Jamal Williams going there?
I mean, the thing that you got to take into account with DeAndre Swift is that he only exceeded like 60% of the snaps like 3 times last year, like 4 times. So he's not going to be a feature back. That's never going to happen. Not a feature back, but he's not going to be a workhorse back. But you got to hope that the ceiling for a guy like DeAndre Swift is someone like Aaron Jones. It's someone like Alvin Kamara. It's someone like Austin Eckler, where they're getting 60% of the snaps. They're getting 15 to 20 efficient touches a game. But the issue I have with DeAndre Swift and why he's a guy that I'm not really in on at his current price is that he plays for the Detroit Lions, who are in probably a 2 to 3 year rebuilding period. They're probably going to let Jared Goff get his ass kicked this year and go out and draft a quarterback next year. So I'm not in on DeAndre Swift. Wherever he's going, he's ranked. I have him ranked where I have him ranked, but wherever he's going is usually ahead of where I have him ranked and ahead of where I'm actually willing to pull the trigger on him because this is just kind of goes back to my whole philosophy around dynasties that I'm always trying to win. I don't ever want to rebuild. I'm always like in win now mode because anything can happen in fantasy. And I think when you look at your team and you're like, yeah, I should just rebuild it more often than not, you probably have a chance to win also. So DeAndre Swift is a guy to me that if you're rebuilding is a good piece to acquire. But if you're trying to win, I would sell DeAndre Swift because I think he is going to have a bit of down production potentially this year. And just because the offense won't be very good. That's basically what it comes down to.
And I could see, again, like limiting his overall ceiling. He may not have like a top 5 overall ceiling. However, I think if you're talking about safe bets in any type of PPR formats to finish in that, we'll say his range of outcomes probably around 7 to 15 if he plays the full 16 game schedule. Again, keep in mind, this is a guy who was the 18th overall rated running back in PPR formats, despite missing three games last year, despite only having 160 total touches. So if we can say his touch output's going to increase to about, let's just say, keep it light right now, let's say 220. So that's 60 extra touches, 3 extra games. You do the math. It's very plausible to see that type of situation. If you get that natural type of progression from him as a second-year player going into the new system.
But the problem with that is that he could progress as a player, but the offense is going to get worse.
Yeah, I mean, again, this is a guy who, you are right, he did have 10 touchdowns in those 13 games. Maybe that's only like 7 in 13. Maybe he averages half a touchdown per game.
7 touchdown running back is absolutely capped as like a mid RB2. Like you can't get higher than that if you're getting less than 10 total touchdowns. On top of the fact that it's not like DeAndre Swift is getting 250 carries next year. Like he's probably going to carry the ball 180 times or maybe 200 times. Maybe he breaks that barrier and he'll probably catch 40, 50 passes. So he's a guy that I see as a firm RB2, especially in redraft leagues too. He's a guy that I would need to get in the 3rd, 4th round to be able to take him, just because all the guys ahead of him that I would have ranked ahead of him, I have much more confidence in their situation, in their offense. Like when you get down to like guys like Clyde Edwards-Helaire, that's when it's like a conversation to me, because Clyde has the opposite side of the spectrum where his situation's so good, but he's a much less talented player, at least from what we've seen thus far of DeAndre Swift.
I mean, comparatively right now, the only 2 rookie running backs from last year I would take over DeAndre Swift would be Akers and Taylor.
I would take Dobbins like 10 out of 10 times, and I would also take Gibson.
We might have to do a little bet on that going into.
I would take him. I would take Swift like 5th, I guess, who would be out of that, and I would take him over James Robinson, and I would take him over Clyde Edwards-Helaire. But that would be like a cluster for me. Like it would be close.
Yeah, the way I look at it is Dobbins and who was the other one again? Gibson both have their own question marks. Gibson being, we don't know what his receiving outlook's going to look like because they still have J.D. McKissic there. I
don't think we know what DeAndre Swift's receiving outlook is going to look like, man. Jamal Williams isn't a bad running back.
However,
especially as a receiver, he's a decent receiver. Like he's
a
guy that's going to take receiving work away from DeAndre Swift. It's going to happen.
Swift also had 46 catches in 13 games last year. So
but who did he have for competition for targets as a receiving running back? Kerryon Johnson didn't do anything as a receiver.
On the other side, though, who's actually going to take targets away from the receiving game this year? They lost their 2 top receivers.
Yeah, they're losing Golladay and stuff. But
so, I mean, they're going to have to supplement those targets.
I always think it's a bad habit to get into when you're investing in bad offenses, and DeAndre Swift is going to be on a team that has a top 5 pick next year. So
yeah,
for
probably.
him, like, obviously we saw James Robinson finish as an RB1 on the team that has the first overall pick, but he needed an exorbitant amount of volume to get there.
I mean, we've seen it year in, year out. There's always guys who contributed in the receiving game despite being on bad offenses. I mean, you look at a couple years ago. I mean, Austin Eckler, for example, is a prime example. If I can get a DeAndre Swift to turn into an Austin Eckler type workload,
offense was not as bad as Detroit's it's going to be this year.
Probably not, but at the same time, they weren't anything special in particular. They weren't a team that was going to be in the playoffs. They weren't a team that was going to win double-digit games. They weren't an offense that was going to scare you on every given week. Austin Eckler was still producing in that regard.
RB5 or 6 or whatever on a team that had the 6th overall pick that year, but that offense moved the ball. They weren't like I expect Detroit to be like bad this year, like really bad.
Sure. I mean, at the end of the day, we'll see how the offseason progresses for them.
On Josh Jacobs, we haven't talked about
Jacobs. I tanked. Josh Jacobs tanks for me.
Was the biggest loser of all of free agency. But here's my thing with Josh Jacobs. I would be willing to price gauge him. If people are just getting rid of the dude for absolutely nothing.
What are you talking about nothing, though?
Like, if you could get him for like an early 2nd round rookie pick, I would actually do that.
Oh, yeah. Like I would do that.
I think people are that out on him now. Like I think people are like, oh my God, this guy, potential suspension looming, plus all that they're doing to basically sandbag him in the offense. I still think he's a guy that's probably going to carry the ball 200 to 250 times, regardless of what they're doing at receiving, running back, and all other positions on that offense. He did just lose like his entire offensive line, which is never a good sign. So he firmly moves to like low end RB2 range for me in Dynasty because the guy's still a 1st round pick. He's still 24 years old. He's going to be ahead of some guys, but he definitely lost value for sure.
Where do you think? Where would you guess I have Josh Jacobs in my dynasty ranks right now? I run him back.
Ugh. I'd imagine he's probably like around RB20, RB23 or something like that.
RB22, right in front of him, Clyde 19, James Robinson 20, Joe Mixon 21. Right after him, I have Montgomery, Hunt, Carson. And even Montgomery, like I've been contemplating.
I honest to God, I'd much rather have David Montgomery than Josh.
That's what I'm saying. Like, it's crazy how we've gotten to that point.
Carson, to be honest, now that he has a contract, I'd rather have Chris Carson than Josh Jacobs too.
Yeah, so I mean, at the end of the day here, you're talking about he's entering a range. Yeah, that's scary when you think about it, because last year he was probably around the RB7 or RB8.
You probably had to pick him with an early second round pick in a startup.
Yeah.
So
yeah, let's get to some of these comments as well. Hopefully that helps you, Reese. Morning boys, says Kevin Bacon. Love to see it.
Yeah.
We watching Georgetown versus Colorado. I'm watching it for sure. Actually, it depends what time. I might go play soccer later with the boys.
True. Yeah, I actually didn't do a bracket this year, so I could care less about March Madness right now.
What round or area should Justin Fields be going in a dynasty startup? I currently have him ranked as quarterback 11. Is that fair or overvalued? Well, I'll actually tell you right now.
I think that's a very fair ranking.
Yeah, I mean, I was about to say Justin Fields is my quarterback 12 in dynasty, so we're on the same page there. In terms of round, so you got those top 7 guys for sure, top 8 potentially going in that first to mid-second round type area. Then you see a kind of a break in terms of when the quarterbacks go. So if you're talking about where he should be going in the areas of the Tannehill, Burrow type, mid-third, late-third type areas, probably where I
have him at 14, but it's a pretty big tier with honestly, like Russell. I have Russell Wilson and Ryan Tannehill I have Ryan Tannehill at 8, Russell Wilson at 9, and then I have like Trevor Lawrence, Joe Burrow, Zach Wilson, Trey Lance, Justin Fields, like all in kind of a tier, and Aaron Rodgers, honestly, too. And probably even Jalen Hurts, like from like all the way from like 9 to like 16. So like there's a bunch of like solid QB1, QB2 types in that tier. And then honestly, there's kind of a bit of a drop off when you look at like the Matt Staffords and Kirk Cousins and stuff, because of like the age that those guys are and some of the long-term outlook that they have. I'll be back in 1 second.
Yeah, Josie's having fun. So good stuff. Thanks. Anytime, Reese. Let's just check up on this mock. So there's 4 of us in there right now. I'm gonna quickly do a little quick tag and then we'll get going. Yeah, keep leaving the comments. I'll get through them. Perfect. All right. So I don't even know what to talk about right now. Let's talk about what other relevant free agency signings would have happened between now and the video that we made. So NFL. Can't even think off the top of my head right now. That's crazy. So I can't even think about who signed.
Who else signed in free agency?
I can't even think about it.
I'll whip up the tracker right now.
That's what I was about to do. By the way, I tagged my fantasy league. Like nobody's filling it right now.
Yeah, true. Yeah. Okay. Let me check the free agency tracker real quick.
On the score?
Yeah, they have like a pretty good one on there. Apparently great to talk to buy as well.
That's dope. You'd love to see it. Yeah, we got 10 people in the chat. If any of you want to join up in this mock draft, just go click the link at the top. Let's get this filled. Wait.
The CD Lamb owner is not going to accept that. So
if he already did that, then that's a steal.
Okay. Never mind. If that's a trade that you already executed, then that is an absolute steal. But if you're just sending that offer, like the CD Lamb owner's not taking that.
Yeah. CeeDee Lamb is going to be a goat. I love it. Anytime I can talk about CeeDee Lamb, you know I'm happy.
Yeah. You know, it's a move that I actually really like that's kind of low-key. Actually, 2 of them. They're both tight ends. Gerald Everett to the Seahawks, assuming Russell Wilson stays there for this year, and Jacob Hollister to the Bills.
Yeah, no, that's definitely a really big, interesting. Real question, though. I got one. speaking of tight end landing spots, who the heck is going to be the starting tight end for the freaking Arizona Cardinals next year? Because Dan Arnold just left. He went to the Panthers. If he's there at 16.
He won't be there. But I don't know. Maybe they take like a Freiermuth in the second round or something like that. I don't know. They use tight ends more than people think. A lot of people think they just never use tight ends. They actually did use Dan Arnold quite a bit last year. So they might be a team that could add another tight end. There's still a couple tight ends out there, I believe, that are decent. They could trade for Zach Ertz potentially or something like that. But they're a team that actually does use the tight end position. So I wouldn't be surprised if they address it pretty early in the draft or sign another veteran.
Yeah, no, I agree. It's just interesting if you think about it because they have like nothing going on at the position right now. But
it's really strange that they like literally just like let him walk. He was actually kind of productive for them. Did you see that Allen Robinson actually signed his franchise tag? I was really surprised when I saw that. I thought he was gonna like hold out or like demand a trade or whatever. Maybe they told him like, hey, sign this and we're gonna try and trade you kind of thing. I have no idea what they're thinking, but as of right now, you got to assume that Allen Robinson's gonna be Chicago Bear next year, right? Like he's
he's still going to be the same guy for me. You know, you take him at about the wide receiver 11, 12 type area. You're not too mad at that type of value. You know what you're getting. He's consistent. I mean, he's dealt with bad quarterbacks throughout his career,
I guess. But...
And let's just go off his rankings in terms of PPR these past whatever years, despite having bad quarterback play. So if you actually look at it right now, 2020 last year finished 9th in PPR. Year before finished 7th. The 2 years prior, he ended up getting hurt. And then he still finished 25th, was his worst year playing full 16 with Jacksonville. And then the year before that, he finished 4th. So, like, I mean, you know what you're going to get. You're going to get a low-end type wide receiver 1 if he plays the full 16. I think Andy Dalton could supplement that type of production. Keep in mind, Mitch Trubisky, Nick Foles, over that time, Blake Bortles, like, nothing there is really inspiring you from the quarterback position. So it would have been nice to see him finally get a quarterback upgrade. But even if he stays in Chicago and has Andy Dalton throwing him the rock, I'm not too concerned whatsoever.
Yeah, they're just a team I don't want any part of. Like, he's kind of in the DeAndre Swift camp for me, where he's like, I'm sure he might he'll probably be fine for fantasy purposes, but I just don't want to invest in that offense.
That's fair. So we got a couple more from Kevin Bacon. He did last week. Oh, so he did the trade yesterday. The guy. Dang. That's crazy. I'm actually dumb. In the initial tweet, I didn't even put the link to the thing.
All right. So if anyone's in the chat that wants to join the mock draft, we still got plenty of spots open. If not, we might just abandon ship on the mock draft and try and run one tomorrow night or something like that. But
here, let me actually put the screen up so people know what they're looking at. So we currently have 7 spots available in this mock draft. So let's fill this up.
I don't know, dude. We've been live for 20 minutes. No one's joining. At this point.
We'll give it a little bit more, and then we could
probably on us for not having it queued up right before we went live, but that's fine.
Still, it's unfortunate. What's good, Flet? Get in this. What are you doing? Flet, get in this.
I don't know if he wants to give away his strategy. Yeah, as soon as it fills up. So yeah, we probably should have filled it before we went live.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree with Reese. I think we should just queue it up tomorrow night. Make it a little Sunday night happy hour mock draft or something like that.
Yeah, I mean we could give it till the 30 mark, and if it's not filled, we can get out of here.
Yeah, we'll just roll this as a Q&A instead. If you guys have any fantasy questions, anything about free agency, just shoot that, and we'll reboot this tomorrow night as an actual mock draft.
For sure. I mean, we could always have it on lock, and if people join it, but we'll prioritize the actual Q&A portion. But yeah.
Looking around, like who I'm trying to figure out who like the best available is. I can't find like a decent list of like who the best available free agents are left because I
saw one on NFL.com.
As of right now, at least what I've noticed is that nobody, like, the big landing spots that we were touting, right? We had the like Arizonas for running back, the Atlantas for running back, like all these, like Miami, like all these spots that have like prime opportunity for like a workhorse running back for a Chris Carson or something of that nature. So I think it's really interesting that those teams decided not to go after running backs in free agency, or at least not yet, or not high priced type guys. So they might be looking at this draft class and being like, Arizona might be in the running back market at 16. I don't know, Pittsburgh might be in the running back market with their pick. Like that is really interesting to me that it looks like those guys are going to be in the running back market in the draft.
Yeah, no, for sure. Okay. Well, Marlon coming off a torn Achilles isn't really factoring into my plans much when it comes to JT. He's still firmly in that head of the tier 2 of running backs, and I still think he should be a mid to late type first round selection in drafts. How about you, Tori?
He doesn't really change that much to me either. I think Marlon Mack is basically just a backup at this point, especially I think he was just backup anyway. With the way that JT kind of proved himself down the stretch, and the way that he took advantage of the entire workload that he was given, I think he basically cemented himself as the starter, as the feature back. And Marlon Mack might work in a little bit, but honestly, I'd rather have Nyheim Hines than Marlon Mack if we're taking them like as a value in drafts or something like that.
Facts. So Tyler said he's getting the boys in. Let's get him in,
Tyler,
brother.
don't even bother, dude. It's already like 30 minutes in.
Yeah, fuck.
We'll rerun it tomorrow night when we got we'll fill it up before we go live, and we'll actually be responsible this time.
Yeah, for real. Yeah, damn. It's pain.
What's pain?
Can't fill a mock draft.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, we're doing this like at a kind of a shitty time. We probably when you messaged me to go live at noon, I was like, we should probably do this later, to be honest. But
it's fair. I don't know. Might as well get the content out. But yeah, no, there's no chance we fill 6 spots in 3 minutes.
There's no chance we fill 6 spots.
I don't even know what to say right now.
Huh? Tyler, don't bother, dude. We're gonna end this early. No, I'm not believing in you. It's literally like, because if we fill this mock, then we're gonna go an hour and a half on this live stream. So we'll reboot it.
Yeah. Oh.
My dog is literally barking her head off. It's really annoying.
She loves it.
No, it's because my mom like will talk to people out front of my house, and they have dogs also. So they're like talking to my mom with a dog. Yeah, okay. I'm just
yeah, Lucas. If we could have filled it 10 minutes ago, we would have. That's how you set the tone.
Yeah, I just gotta put them in timeout.
Wait, we have four spots left, Bush. We could do this. Now we got to. Worst case scenario.
Now, I was honestly the only problem is that like if someone wants to rewatch this after the live stream, they're gonna be like, "What the fuck was this 30 minutes of bullshit?" Before I got to the live.
Yeah, let's go. Tyler knew. Three more. All right, let's motivate people to join in. We'll have that on the screen.
Yeah. All right. Yeah, we'll motivate some people.
Motivate.
Yeah, spicy hot in here.
Join in. Your 110's chilling right there.
You won't be giving away any strategy. Don't worry. Just pick Alex Smith in the first round, and you'll be good.
Yeah, bro. Oh, yeah. Spicy Hot knows now. Where's the link? I could resend it. Here. Why is our Twitter say fantasy finessing?
I don't know, man. Like the guy that made our Fantasy Stock Exchange Twitter initially, that was his Twitter handle, and I don't know why it's showing up as that. Like, I have no idea why it's showing up as that, not what the actual Twitter handle is. I'll be back in a second. I'm literally going to go execute my dog. Not actually, but it's annoying.
At the tone. So it's official. Bush is setting the tone over there. We got 2 spots left. 2 spots. Scott Free FC is in. Now we got 1. Spicy Hot is in. So let me add all. Adding 1 push back. SuperFlex. No. Where's my? We did it.
We did it?
Yeah, Tyler's running it. He packed it.
Where's my money? Okay. So
do they have rookies in here yet or no? Or are we going to kickers? Rookie pick.
I think
they do have rookies. They have rookies. They have rookies.
rookies.
Yeah, they have rookies. All right, dope.
Let's do it. Rip it. I'm almost wondering if we should just restart the live stream.
Nah.
Fuck it.
Nah, fuck it. All right, let's begin this draft. And the boy Ryan Raver is on the clock. And he takes the boy Patty Mahomes. You love to see it.
Yeah.
Man, I don't know. I thought Alex Smith was the clear 101 there, man.
Alex Smith is always the clear 101. He beat out Patrick Mahomes in 2017.
Yeah, bro. Yeah, bro. Boom. Yeah, bro. Boom. So we got McCaffrey and Barkley off the board right next. Then Kyler Murray rounding out the top 4.
Yeah, see, there's a pick I just can't get on board with. I like Kyler Murray as much as the next guy, but ahead of those other, like if you're gonna pick a quarterback at 104, I'm definitely not picking Kyler Murray as the second quarterback off the board in a dynasty league personally.
The guy who went after him is the guy I would have taken. That's Josh Allen. Now you're on the clock at 6 here.
Here, I'll drop the link for him.
Get me on stream. Let's get Tyler Mossy over here on stream, eh? You should drop it in the chat.
Yeah, I just threw it.
Yeah, all right, bet.
Am I on the clock right now? Oh, I am on the clock.
Yeah.
Oh, my auto picked. Nice. Cool.
Time's up.
Tyler did that. Okay, that's my wide receiver 1. I'll take it. Fine.
I could have paused it, but you're still in auto, by the way. You have to click that little thing. There's a little dash that shows up.
I deserve a damn raise. I deserve a raise.
Bush, click that the dash thing. It says auto pick and then not. You can toggle it.
Yeah, I got
it. Yeah, okay.
I put that MFer everywhere. Like,
just rinsing it in the chat.
Yeah, I mean, I'm pretty sure I'm gonna get muted in a few group chats for that, but we did it for the boys.
Yeah. No, in hindsight, I literally said as soon as we got on this before we went live, I'm like, yeah, we probably should have filled this before we went live.
Don't worry about it. Nah.
Yeah, we got it. The running backs are flying. I knew Lucas with an on-brand pick there of Derrick Henry. Love 28-year-old running backs in dynasty leagues.
Just got tattooed.
JK.
Is that not the most on-brand turn for me as well?
I mean, I'm pretty sure 10 more women came forward since you just picked Deshaun Watson. So, what do you do with Deshaun Watson? That's an interesting discussion right now. What do you do with Deshaun Watson in a dynasty league if you own him?
Don't pick him.
You definitely don't pick him. But let's say you're doing a startup today.
I'm not worried. I thought he'll be fine.
You think so,
dude? They'll find a way to make him fine.
Michael Vick vibes for me,
dude. Obviously, from our perspective right now, it's awful. It's awful. I am not in any way whatsoever condoning what he's done or allegedly has done.
No shit.
However,
no one condones it.
He's a 25-year-old franchise quarterback. They are going to get him whatever lawyer is possible to make this thing go away. It's going to happen.
I don't know about that, dude. When there's that many people that come forward, it sounds like there's a lot of fire where the smoke is.
Yeah, fuck. I was thinking about Alvin Kamara because of it, but then Alvin Kamara's got his own question marks too. So
I didn't even see that Cam Akers was on the board. I'm actually upset at myself. I took Aaron Jones over him. but it's whatever. I think the running backs have literally dried up already. Like we got, I mean, how many picks are we in? 24 picks. We got McCaffrey, Barkley, JT, Dalvin, Swift. Like Swift at the 110 is like way too rich for me, in my opinion. You can't like I just said, we were talking about it earlier. I wouldn't pick Swift, let alone in a dynasty league, in a redraft league, any kind of format. I would not pick him over Cam Akers and Antonio Gibson personally.
Yeah, fair. We got Najee on the turn. Dang, I was hoping maybe he felt, but he wasn't going to.
What are the odds he takes Javonte or ETN here too?
He might go Fields, dude, to be honest.
My team's about to look gorgeous because I just needed him to miss one of his picks because I'm going to take one of the wide receivers, and they're both fucking here.
You going to take Devontae?
God, what a draft. I get the wide receiver 1, the running back 1, and like the quarterback 7. That feels great.
That's phenomenal. How far does Josh Jacobs tumble down this thing? I'm just curious.
Josh Jacobs.
Jacobs?
Yeah, this man is flying or is falling down the board here.
We watching Colorado, Georgetown, boys. We keeping the brackets alive. Florida all the way.
Everyone's brackets torched, man. Ohio State lost.
No, not me.
Imagine Ohio State
losing the first round.
There's no shot.
The name of the team they lost to, like Oral something.
Oral Roberts, bro.
Yo, Lucas actually called it in the chat. Look at the chat.
What?
I got the wide receiver 1 and RB1 takes.
Yeah. Well, he's watching the stream.
Corey, I heard you getting Alex Smith on right now.
No, I was thinking about taking Justin Jefferson, but I'm gonna go with the boy here.
I know you're going with.
Yeah, how about Justin Jefferson?
Love that.
5. Like that's just not even a thing.
Imagine taking 2 running backs are gonna catch 70 freaking passes each.
Yeah, that's
Eckler.
You'll love to see it.
Yeah, Spicy Hot says splitting carries with Drake. I think he's gonna be splitting a whole lot of things with Drake. I have no idea.
Yeah, he is.
Josh Jacobs is literally like what do you do with this man at this point? Because not only is he splitting carries with Drake, his entire offensive line just got cut or released or traded, and he has a looming suspension also, like potentially because he got like a DUI or something. I don't even remember what he did, but. The bad things are stacking up and Josh Jacobs has yet to stay healthy in his 2-year career over the course of a full season. So he's basically, if you guys remember LaShawn McCoy a couple of years ago, like someone got like shot in his house and then his whole line got hurt and he was injured and old. I was like, yo, this dude's got so many question marks. It's basically that type of situation for Josh Jacobs this year. To be like the 3rd round is still too rich for me, to be honest.
Wait, is this tight end premium?
No, this is not.
Oh, thank God.
I mean, Travis Kelce at the 311 and a non-tight end premium still.
Well, that's why I was a little concerned. That's all.
Oh, the lads, they're going back-to-back rookie running backs.
Running backs. And if this was a real draft, first of all, I would most likely trade down in these spots. I wouldn't just stick and pick at the 12 every time. But given the value here, I'm not picking.
Danny is literally all about trading down in every single draft he's ever been in. He's just, I want to trade down and get that value.
Yeah, you know how it is.
Yeah, every time.
Yeah, no, we're chilling.
There's like one guy on the board right now that I really hope falls to me, and I don't think he's going to.
Wow. He wants that CD Lamb. He wants that big board number 1.
Bro, I'm back in on Joe Mixon. No, I'm just kidding.
If Kelce had fallen, I would have taken him on the turn and went with a more win now type strategy. But now I got nice young running backs. I got 2 younger quarterbacks. I like how my team is structured. Hey, Ravers knows trading down is the best. It's the best. Yeah,
trading down's the best. The problem is that everybody, like every startup I've ever been in, everyone's like, hey, anybody want to trade up for this pick? Like every single pick, and it just gets annoying to me. So I'm just going to pick so I don't annoy the rest of the chat.
Oh, CD Lamb.
That was the way you were going to. I'm surprised you didn't pick him in like the 2-1.
I actually caught
CD Lamb, Danny. Look at that.
How do I zoom into the screen? I'm trying to think. Is there any other like layout?
Full screen layout. That's like the best I can get into it.
We could get that, but then we don't see us.
I mean, we're pretty ugly anyway, so.
I mean, we could switch back and forth between it. Bilal, can you see the screen?
Who do I want here? I got a couple options. The guy I wanted to fall to me did, so I'm going to take Justin Fields.
Yeah, I'm back in on Joe Mixon. Hold on.
Hey, now I'm kind of regretting it because Bush, I wish I would have taken a Kamara at the turn with Dak, and then I could have had Justin Fields at the turn here. I assumed he would be gone.
Okay,
So.
so we got James Robinson at the 4.8. This is a point where I actually think James Robinson should probably go. So you guys probably hear me talk about all the time how I think James Robinson's overvalued, but when you're deciding between James Robinson and Joe Mixon, I'll take James Robinson there. It's more so when people start putting him in the class of like the other rookie running backs, like the Antonio Gibsons and the Cam Akers and stuff like that, I'm out on. But if you're getting James Robinson around guys like Joe Mixon, David Montgomery, like players like that, then yeah, I'm in on him there.
I bet. We got
You'd rather see our cute faces. Okay, that's just not true.
Hey, speak for yourself.
Okay, so I mean, as per usual, the wide receiver position is just still absolutely loaded with talent. So
you cannot
deny the talent. That is for sure.
You can't deny the talent.
There's another guy on the board that I really want here, and no, it is not Jalen Hurts. I'll let some other sucker pick him.
Okay.
You don't want Jalen Hurts, bro? You want the boy Zach
bro.
Wilson,
I honest to God think there's an equal chance that the Eagles draft a quarterback than there is that Jalen Hurts finishes top 12 in fantasy.
Can you set Tannehill? It's not letting me pick. Like, just give me spinning circle.
How do I?
Well, you just reset it.
How do I do that?
Because it was just giving me spinning circle. What a guy.
There you go.
There you go, Dad.
I took the guy, my bad.
It's all with the auto pick off.
That was the guy I wanted, Tyler, by the way.
Yeah,
I'm back in on Ryan Tannehill.
I'm always back in on Ryan Tannehill, man. He's elite.
Man, now that I know that the quarterbacks aren't flying off the board, I got to adjust to my strategy in these mocks.
Well, it's always in the mock.
Oh, no.
You got Zach Wilson. Relax.
I know I have Zach Wilson, but he's giving me a fucking jet.
Bush is back in on Zach Wilson.
Back in on Zach Wilson.
On the board. Give me Aaron Rodgers. He's an old man, but I don't care.
Colorado's spanking the monkey that is Georgetown. Jeez.
Oh, I hate that.
Oh, spicy. It's spicy. Spicy hot. Are you picking after me in the actual draft too? Is this your actual draft slot?
He picks 110 and then he traded up for my 103. So Buddy's gonna have fucking two absolute superstars.
Oh, true. Okay.
Got the boy Zach Wilson.
Picking my dude right after me. Come on now. I don't really know what to do with Zach Wilson from my perspective because I'm a guy who's like way in on Zach Wilson. But if he goes to the Jets, like he's going to be my QB4 probably. Like
I don't think the Jets are as bad of a situation anymore.
No, they're not. They're not. But
okay,
so if he goes to the Jets, but Fields and Lance go to the Falcons and Panthers, I will take both of those other quarterbacks over Wilson.
Why did you stop flexing? Like, who are you here for?
You.
Jeez.
T. Higgins, Jamar Chase, Mike Evans at the 5'11 is just stupid. Lucas just picks like a retirement home team every time, but it's like always good. Like look at his team right now; it's filthy. Derrick Henry, Justin Herbert, Travis Kelce, DeAndre Hopkins, and Mike Evans. That is just absolutely filthy.
It's gonna be wheelbarrowing Leonard Fournette as his RB fucking too, bro.
You knew he was gonna pick Keenan Allen if you didn't pick him too.
Yeah, 100%.
That's an on-brand pick for Lucas Gazer.
Lucas Gazer.
Here comes Chris Carson to really bolster the running back position.
Probably a good pick, actually.
No, he'll take like fucking.
He'll wait for the falling value.
He'll take Melvin Gordon.
No, he'll pick Jared Patterson because he thinks he's good for some reason.
Or Ramondre Stevenson, like what a clown.
Oh, you got Amari. Good pick.
I saw that. Did you guys see the Jared Patterson's like pro day numbers? He was like, he ran like a 4.51 or whatever, and he was like, they said I was gonna run a 4.6. Like, bro, you needed to run a 4.3 to get like in the third round. What do you mean?
Yeah, for real.
Guys like Philip Lindsay, except he's not fast. So
you see Lucas in the chat. Damn, wanted more in Allen. So on brand.
So on brand. Do I go with an on-brand pick here?
I have an on-brand pick, but I don't think he's going to get to me. It's unfortunate.
Oh, that's a good pick there.
Dang it.
Oh, no.
Yeah. You love it.
On-brand pick.
Yeah.
Actually, you know what? This guy, I need another running back. Give me Chris Carson here. He just signed a new 3-year deal, probably only 2 years that he's actually on the roster, but Give me 2 years of production, assuming he's with Russell Wilson still. But yeah, he's a feature back, so I'll take him in the 6th round.
Devonta, my boy.
You know what? I do have an on-brand
Oh,
pick.
Matthew Stafford was a good pick. I didn't even see him.
I have a big on-brand pick because I have him ranked higher than most everyone in
Oh, here
the
comes.
industry. Oh,
Oh,
shit! What the
You're
fuck?
still
is
an
going on?
auto pick, bro.
How do you?
Who do you want? Who do you want? Who do you want? Who do you want? Who do you want?
Well, I was gonna give
Just tell me
me.
quick. Give me
It's
a
all
name.
right, if he wants to pick two, I
Just
don't.
give me a name. Give me a name.
Just pick him next. Just pick him next. Whatever. Turn
I
off
want a
auto pick. Though. You're still an auto pick.
Turn off your auto pick, bro.
How do you do that?
Where it says Q, there's an auto pick switch there beside your team.
Oh, wait, no, that turned it on.
Okay, we'll turn it off.
No,
You're gonna pick okay, you're good.
Oh,
You're good.
okay, I guess it's off now. I don't know. All right, well, I'll take. Can you take Carter for my first pick instead of Judy because I don't want no bum ass receiver.
Yeah, no one was gonna pick Michael Carter there, but
Yeah, I'm aware. I that was a reach. I wanted Hawkinson. I'm kind of furious about that, in all honesty. And then I'll take.
Just pick him. Pick
I'll
him.
take Goff.
Just pick him.
Oh yeah, that's shit. I can actually just do that. Nah, we'll take Derek Carr because we hate him. I hate myself. So I don't know. I don't know why I do it, but I always take Derek Carr.
What did you guys think of Gainwell's pro day numbers? By the way,
441 at 210. That's
yeah,
nice.
no, he wasn't 210
or 201 or whatever he was. Yeah, I'm in.
Why is that? Why is that news? That's exactly what I expected.
I mean, that's what I mean. Like, I'm in because I didn't expect.
I know, but like
else.
everyone is pretending like that's like good for him. Like that's exactly what I expected. Like I'm not.
Yeah.
Like to me, it seems like people are double counting what he did. They're like, oh, we knew he was fast and small, but like if he could get over 200 pounds, like he's listed at like 197 or something. Like,
yeah,
he was gonna get over 200 pounds for his pro day. Like, I don't know. To me, I think it's good that he got over 200 pounds, but I really expected him to do so. So I didn't find it that impressive.
Yeah, I got a Dynasty Nerds article coming out comparing him and Kylan Hill. I go kind of back to back through like most of the important things.
All right, on brand pick again.
So between the running back position, vision, receiving abilities, obviously I credit blocking as a big thing, hands, footwork, all that kind of stuff, stats and metrics. Not really surprised with Gainwell at all, with kind of what he ran at pro day. I still don't. He's not rising or falling for me. He's still
neither. He's been my RB5 this whole time, and he's going to stay my RB5 unless Michael Carter goes out and runs like a 4.5. Like he's going to stay my RB5.
He's my 6, and I basically was very evident in the article. I'm like, listen, either him or Kylan will be my 5 or could even go to 4, but it's all draft dependent. If they're in a great spot, then I'll roll with it. But if they're in a bad situation or drafted late, I can't really keep pounding the table for the guys.
Yeah, and that's the thing with rookie rankings in general is that the reality is that none of this really matters right now. We're just kind of jousting for sport right now. We're just like, yeah, like this guy over this guy and that guy over this guy. But like the reality is that Keyshawn Vaughn was a 15th round or like a RB10 for most people until he got drafted to Tampa Bay. And like that's basically just how landing spots work. And Keyshawn Vaughn stinks. And if he didn't stink, he would have actually been good for fantasy. So. Oh, you wanted Chuba?
No, I wanted Bateman.
Oh, true.
And then I wanted fuck you, Lucas.
Lucas has got a bunch of 28-year-old receivers on his roster.
I'm going to go Deontay with one of these picks 100%.
Yeah, Deontay's a very solid pick there.
Yeah, I'm just trying to think who else I want.
I only have one receiver on my roster, but it's Tyreek, so I don't really need another one.
But don't you kind of look at the class? Because I only have one wide receiver. Don't you kind of look at the board and you're like, shit, I'm kind of okay.
Yeah, there's plenty of great wide receivers on the board. And based on so my team construction, for those of you that can't really see the screen, I have Tyreek Hill, Aaron Jones, and Austin Eckler as my first 3 picks. Then I got Justin Fields, Aaron Rodgers, and Baker Mayfield as like a 3 stack at quarterback. And then I have Chris Carson as like a flex spot too. So in terms of my starting roster, I think I have like a win now type team. Like my 3rd quarterback or whatever is like a rookie quarterback of this season. So I have a lot of flexibility. If I just fill out my receiving core and get a decent tight end, I think the team that I have could actually win this year. So especially if we're in like a PPR draft, like because I have 2 running backs that catch a lot of passes.
Yeah, and when I first started this draft, I'm like, oh, I don't know, I got youth at the running back position, but aside from the youth spot of my running backs, like my team could put up a ton of points just year one.
That's the thing with running backs too, is that you can craft a win now team with, like, you took Travis Etienne and Javonte Williams. You could
Yeah.
still craft a win now team out of that.
Yeah.
If you drafted, I don't know, like a Raheem Mostert, Leonard Fournette type in the later rounds that can help maybe get by if one of your running backs lands in like a meh landing spot.
Yeah, I mean, like, for example, Melvin Gordon at the 802, I think is a fine pick. Again, a lot of people in the fantasy community is probably going to have him pegged lower because he's old, because he's in a growth situation.
But they just got rid of Philip Lindsay now. Like, he's
that's what I'm saying.
Like,
I think Melvin Gordon's going to be like a fringe top 15 type back. If you're getting that type of value in the 8th round, I will take that anytime.
Okay, so let's say they don't add anyone of significance. They add like a 6th rounder. They had like watch Jamar Jefferson be like a 6th round pick to the Broncos and get hyped up.
Yeah, he's gonna get hyped up if that happens.
Yeah. Okay, so I am probably gonna make the easiest pick I've ever made in my life and pick Julio Jones at the 8-7.
That's a steal. I was contemplating him or Cortland Sutton, but because
so
my team's a little younger.
I have Tyreek and Julio as my wide receivers, and Julio's not I still think he's the same guy. I didn't think he slowed down at all last year, but he did deal with some injuries, which is concerning. And I'd be a hypocrite if I said it didn't concern me at his age, because we talked all offseason about how AJ Green can't stay healthy at his age. And not that I'm saying Julio Jones is as bad as AJ Green, but he is that type of receiver, that big physical like force on the outside. And if he's slowing down at all, and the injuries are a part of that, then it is concerning, and Julio could be a big time bust in fantasy this year. But I also think there's a good chance he gets back to his normal
1,400 yards, 5 touchdowns. Yeah. By the way, Kenny Galladay at the 809 is very intriguing.
I know, annoying.
This whole 8th round of receivers is just insane when you think about it, except for like Rondale. But aside from that,
it's about to get more insane. I just need this guy not to take my guy, and he's gonna take my guy because he's gonna auto. Come on.
Honestly, do you hate Carson Wentz at the 8-3?
No.
Yes, let's go.
Maybe like in a round early, but like if you think he's going to be the quarterback past this year, it's a steal.
I mean, you got Tua at 6-4 versus Carson Wentz at 8-3. Which would you rather have?
I would rather the value on Wentz there.
Yeah, I would too. I don't think Tua is worth anything more than Wentz is. I think both guys are kind of teetering on their like careers of fantasy success type.
Yeah, agreed. I mean, I really like how my team's actually turning out.
Yeah, I feel like a genius here. I mean, I feel like I've got some very, very solid options. I have 3 solid running backs, 1 being a rookie potential. I've got a young quarterback with 2 veterans. And now I'm starting to build the wide receivers.
Let's get the 9-1's nice. See, he's a guy I have no idea where his value is going to be in terms of dynasty startups, because I could see someone really talking themselves into Laviska Shenault and picking him in like the 5th, 6th round, and it's just a huge reach. But I could also see people kind of having him lost in the weeds, because you have guys like me and Tyler both got like very good veteran receivers like Julio Jones and Adam Thielen.
Yeah.
You could see a guy like Laviska Shenault kind of get lost in that, and I think that's the hardest part of dynasty is comparing 2 guys like that. A guy like Laviska Shenault, who has not yet to do anything really, and a guy like Julio Jones, who's like 31 years old, and you really don't know how much time he has left. But when he's on the field, he's an elite fantasy option.
Yeah, no, I agree.
And I am actually going to probably break Tyler's heart with this pick, but I'm going to take Will Fuller here because I think that's just an absolute.
No, the only way you break my heart is taking Kyle Hill. You know that, sweetheart.
Yeah, that's for sure. Yeah. I mean, Will Fuller, whether he plays well for the Dolphins this year or not, I think he's probably going to do well in free agency next year and get a decent landing spot. I'm a little upset that he didn't sign for a multi-year deal, because I thought, Will Fuller's 26 years old or something like that. I thought for sure he would have signed for a multi-year deal, especially the way he played this year. He played unlike Juju and Kenny Galladay, he doesn't have that recency bias stink on him, where those 2 guys weren't good this year, and that's probably contributing to why they didn't really sign big contracts. Will Fuller was the opposite. He played awesome this year. He's like a top 10 receiver in the league.
Yeah, no, he was fantastic when he did get on the field this year, or when he was on the field this year. Haha, your boy, yeah.
He's a Raiders fan, so I gotta cut him some slack. But come on, man.
Can I ask you guys what you guys think about the 4 stack at quarterback that I've kind of gone with? I know some guys are kind of iffy, but I think by grabbing 4 and kind of solidifying the position, I think there's still 1 guy out there with only 1 quarterback.
Personally, I think Jared Goff was a wasted pick by you.
Yeah,
that hurts.
I think you were fine with Joe Burrow, Ryan Tannehill, and Derek Carr, just because, especially in the near future, you got to think with Derek Carr and Jared Goff especially, their futures aren't really secured.
Yeah.
They're kind of year-to-year assets. So
Like I would have preferred like Matt Ryan or Daniel Jones.
Yeah, like those guys are great third quarterbacks, like Jared Goff and Derek Carr, but I wouldn't want both of them because I think they're both going to be similar for fantasy. And their timeline of how good they're going to be and for how long is probably the same too.
Lucas just took my guy.
At the time of the draft, where 4 teams only have 1 quarterback. So, I'm just trying to like hog the position at this point.
True.
What do we think about that too? People do that all the time.
I personally don't like that strategy.
I like it when I'm actually in a startup because then I could flip them for more value.
See, but I like trading. People don't want to trade with you after that because you hoard all the
yeah, well, they won't have a choice once they have one quarterback on the roster.
Yeah, but they can. Trust me when I say there's going to be other teams that have multiple quarterbacks. Unless you have 7 quarterbacks on your roster, then you're.
If I have 5 good quarterbacks and I can trade 2 of them.
The lads are starting AJ Dillon and Damian Harris, so he can have 8 quarterbacks on his bench, bro.
Yeah, you gotta pick the Ruggs the homer picks.
By the way, I ended up going with our boy Jameis Winston there at the 10-1. I think he's going to be the starter. And if I'm getting the starter for the Saints, 27 years old or whatever he is, what is he, 27? 28?
Yeah.
Check right now. He is 27 years old.
Value pick of this entire draft. Whoever just got James Jones at the 10-4. I actually love that.
I was about to take Noah Fant too.
Oh, that's my boy.
Fant was a good pick.
I'm about to single-handedly raise the ADP on my boy here.
I went with Deebo Samuel at the 10-7, I think. When you look at when you look at the receivers left on the board, I see a lot of rookies and Odell Beckham, which doesn't make me excited. So I went with Deebo, who's another guy that I think if you're doing like a top 5 guys that are undervalued in Dynasty right now, I think Deebo Samuel would be up there for me just because everyone's forgetting what this guy did. And I love Brandon Ayuk. I think they can both be very valuable. I think if not this year, San Francisco is going to be aggressive to get an upgrade at quarterback because they're clearly not satisfied with Jimmy Garoppolo. So if they have to go another year with Jimmy, fine. But I think next year, there's no way they go into another year with Jimmy. So if you're looking from a longer-term perspective with Deebo and Brandon Ayuk, I think these guys can both be wide receiver 2s in fantasy for the next while, especially if they get an exciting young quarterback like Trey Lance or something.
Kylan's gone, guys.
I know. When I saw him go off the board, I laughed.
That's hilarious.
That is epic. You love to see it.
This is the only guy I've ever loved. He's the first man I've ever loved, bro.
Wait.
Don't worry, James Conner's still on the board for you.
Oh, shoot. Yeah, you're right. Jeez.
Is James Conner signed by anyone? No, right?
No. He's just chilling right now. But
honestly,
he's just chilling.
Odell at the 11-1 isn't terrible. I'm not going to lie. That's not terrible.
You know what? I've started to really just get used to this strategy. And you guys will kind of see it in a second. Oh, geez. Why is Cole Kmet that gross? Am I just going to take Brevin here? Oh, no.
I want to Kurt Sam to fall to me. I want to Kurt Sam to fall to me.
I think that's what I'm going to start doing. I've done that in a few drafts, and it's actually worked out well. We're late in the draft.
I love this range of tight ends. This is where I've been this guy for redraft purposes, for dynasty purposes. I never spend up a tight end. And sure, you guys can point, like a lot of people will point to like the win percentage when you take Travis Kelce or something like that. But the problem is that the position is a crapshoot in general. And one of these times, Travis Kelce's going to stink. Maybe it's not this year. Maybe he gets injured.
I want to Robbie.
One of these days is Travis Kelce's not going to be the safest asset in fantasy anymore. So if we're talking about a position that has no safety, I'm going to just take them late and take a lot of them.
Yeah, no, I agree. I mean, everybody loves. Holy crap! This whole round's going on.
This is freer than free because I got Dallas Goedert here, so I'll take that every day of the week. I cannot believe I just got Dallas Goedert at the 11-6.
Oh my god, I wanted him, bro. That's paid.
Yeah, I'm like Dallas Goedert's like my number 6 tight end in Dynasty.
Yeah,
like he's like I think Kyle Pitts and TJ Hawkinson are the only 2 guys I have ahead of him outside of the big like Mark Andrews, Darren Waller, and the top 2 guys. And
you could make the case for Noah Fant as well, but aside from that, like
Dallas Goedert has a clear path now to a starting tight end job with Zach Ertz has been being shopped. And whenever that's the case, you know he's not going to be around long. Whether he's on Philadelphia or not next year, he's gone by the deadline at the very latest. Like he'll probably get cut or traded before the season even starts.
Georgetown's down by 20.
Oh my god!
Did you guys pick them?
No,
I can't remember. I can't remember which one I picked in the.
There's 2 guys on the board right now. Oh, nice. Okay, that's not a bad pick.
I've been pounding the table on just late turns of getting 2 tight ends. Like what is it? Another guy actually did it. No, 2 people did it in this outside of me, where you just take one round, you just grab a tight end, the next round you grab a tight end late in the draft. Don't take an early guy. Just grab 2 late on the turn and call it a day. Like that.
See, the turn pick is really nice for SuperFlex or for SuperFlex leagues, especially because you can double stack tight ends and quarterbacks on the turn. Like, I mean, Danny went Dak and Deshaun at the end of the round. Like you went, you didn't double stack quarterbacks, but I really like that idea of doing that. Double stacking like a position that is like scarce, like tight end and quarterbacks. Damn it. God damn it. Danny, you fucking asshole.
Brandon Cooks at the 12-1's pretty.
I wanted her really bad.
I was thinking about double stacking the tight end there, but I kind of see the board's not really as fun as I want it to be, so I wait. It would have been an easy Jonnu if Hunter Henry's stupid ass didn't end up in New England.
I still like Jonnu Smith personally.
I like him, but like
I'm like completely off of by any chance.
But like I loved him.
Okay,
I loved
nice.
him.
We're only going 14 rounds on this. Dope. I was going to say how long are we going on this, but that's cool. I feel like I need some running back depth still, but like I don't like any running backs on the board. So,
wait, Lucas. Okay, I was about to say I thought Lucas's RB1 and 2 was Melvin Gordon and Leonard Fournette for a second.
The
that
tight
would have
end.
been very Lucas of him. Can we, speaking of RB1 and 2s or whatever, can we talk about like what the Houston Texans are doing at the running back position? You know, I had to pick him, so.
Fuck, I was hoping he fell.
I had to go Elijah there because he's my dude. But
Disrespect.
yeah, like the Texans have what? David Johnson, Mark Ingram, and Phillip Lindsay as their running backs. Like that is actually disgusting. That disgusts me.
It is disgusting.
Larry Roundtree's value is going to start flying up. I don't want to hear shit.
Larry Roundtree? I've never.
224. He's 224 on Sleeper. That's ridiculous. Guy's a goat. He's better than Jamar Jefferson and Stevenson. How is Stevenson so ranked high? Like
Stevenson is not as bad as Larry Roundtree. I'll tell you that for sure.
What?
Stevenson's got some good qualities.
Wait, why is Peyton Hendershot ranked higher than fucking Jared Cook?
Who the heck is that guy?
Peyton Hendershot.
Tony Pollard was one like running back that I was actually interested in. Ugh, pain. Yeah. I might just like punt the running back position now. I'll just roll with the 3 I have. That's
what I did, bro. Look.
I think when you're at this point in the draft, like, is it worth taking Todd Gurley, James Conner, Devin Singletary when there's guys that I can get actual production out of, like Jarvis Landry on the board? Like, why would I bother taking someone that stinks?
Yeah, like fucking Phillip Lindsay would have been interesting, and then he fucking signed with the Texans.
Roethlisberger. Oh.
Yeah.
I guess he's a starting quarterback.
I would have rather Darnold.
Alouettes, bro. Like,
did you see the report about how the NFL and the media are like completely disconnected on the value of Sam Darnold?
Yeah,
like the media is like way overvaluing what the NFL actually thinks of the guy. And there was like a report that was like one scout said to me, he fucking stinks or whatever. Like some NFL like personnel guy told like a reporter that Sam Darnold just fucking stinks. I laughed so hard when I read that. I was like, that's so funny. That's like what people say on fantasy Twitter.
I mean, is he lying? Yeah,
no, he's not. But I still think Sam Darnold's a good quarterback. I know. I just he's definitely not proven anything really like in his career, but like can you blame him? Like look what he's dealt with.
Yeah, for real.
I built an elite team. This looks so good.
See, I feel like I need another tight end right now because I only have like Dallas Goedert, but I don't really like anyone on the board.
That's what I was at, bro. I wanted to double stack, but I didn't
I'll take
Hunter Long, baby.
I'm gonna take someone who's gonna be productive. Give me Eric Ebron. He'll be productive.
Oh,
I could have went with like Hayden Hurst, who's like, see, the thing is like someone would be like, "What Hayden Hurst has more upside." It's like, no, he really doesn't because he hasn't really done anything. So,
bro, Lucas's favorite argument is upside.
No, he's totally right about that though. People will just like see a younger player who had like one splash play in the NFL, be like, "Oh, look at the upside he brings." It's like, I don't know about that. Like everyone just goes like Evan Ingram, perfect example. They'll be like, "Oh, would you rather have Evan Ingram or Austin Hooper?" People will be like, well, like Evan Ingram has more upside. It's like, does he though? Like, I don't think he does. Just because he's athletic doesn't mean he has upside.
Fitzpatrick was a good pick, by the way.
Cleveland's a competitive offense. They've got a lot of people to target.
Yeah, but I really like Austin Hooper as like a really late round value. Like he doesn't go high. Like for the amount of money that he's getting paid And like he's on a top 15 offense. Like he's a guy that you can plug in a pinch for sure.
And Hayden Hurst is still there. Everyone's favorite pickup from last year. His ADP went from like the 15th round to like the 8th last year. It's so funny.
Who, Hayden Hurst?
On brand. Look at Lucas.
Yeah, Lucas picking Jarrett Patterson. What a
All right, guys. I'm getting a 25-year-old receiver who had 1,100 yards 2 years ago.
Oh, here comes Michael Gallup.
In the 13th round? Are you kidding me?
Michael Gallup, dude.
He's a free agent next year. He's going to get the bag.
Oh,
yeah,
yeah,
when
just
Jack
like
gets
Juju and
started.
Will Fuller did?
Huh?
Just like Juju and Will Fuller got the bag?
Yeah, next year when
That's
the
my
actual
thing, though.
class
Is that, like, the
adjusts.
NFL's caught up. They're realizing that the wide receiver is the new running back market, not because they're not important, but because there's so many of them that are good and can play that there's no point of paying this position.
So many that are good and can play. The Dolphins have like one now.
Yeah, I mean, you got Will Fuller now. Don't worry about it. If I were you guys now that you have a deep threat, I would draft Jamar Chase at 3. Honestly, that's
get Sewell, please.
I would draft Jamar Chase, bro. I seriously think he's.
Isaiah Wilson's a bust. We just need Sewell.
Jalen Waddle,
pick in the
baby.
first round.
Jalen Waddle.
You have another pick in the first round to pick an offensive tackle. This tackle class is. I mean, the receiver class is deep too, but Jamar Chase ain't going to be there at 18. A talent of that level.
Yeah,
like
but Bateman will be.
Would you rather have Penei Sewell and a 60% chance of at Rashad Bateman? And if you don't get Rashad Bateman, you're picking Kadarius Toney at 18? Or would you rather have Jamar Chase and Sam Cosmi?
I would rather have Jalen Waddle and Sam Cosmi.
Jalen Waddle and Sam Cosmi.
For Miami.
Why? They have Will Fuller now.
Oh, yeah, they do have Fuller. I don't know. I mean,
I'll take Darnell Mooney. He's a nice little flyer.
not bad.
Yeah, see, like that's just my thing with the way that I see Jamar Chase is just different from the way everyone else. Like I see Jamar Chase as like he's a dude. Like him and Devontae Smith are the dudes in this class, and I think they're both the third pick in the draft. I don't think Jalen Waddle's on the level of those top two guys.
I don't know, man. He's
great. He's a great player. Like I'm not going to discount Jalen Waddle, but I'd rather have Jamar Chase than Penei Sewell personally for what the Dolphins need.
Yeah, we're picking on brand, right?
An offensive tackle last year.
We're picking on brand, right?
It's gonna take like Marlon Mack.
Larry Roundtree.
It's gonna take Marlon Mack.
Yeah, I should have picked someone picked Jamar Jefferson. Nice, spicy hot. Come on, man.
Jamar sucks, bro. How many times
he gets in the 14th round is a nice pick though. Same Cole Beasley in the fifth, like end of the 14th. That's a great pick too.
Dude, that's like getting a return specialist in the 14th round. Like, what's the point?
But yeah, if you guys can see the board, we'll get our ugly mugs off the screen for a second so you can see this. Bada bing, bada boom. I actually really like how my team turned out, in all honesty. No bias.
Yeah, I'm going to rip through my team real quick. At receiver, I have Tyreek, Julio Jones, Will Fuller, Deebo Samuel, Elijah Moore, and Darnell Mooney. So a nice mix of veteran talent and youth there. And then I got at running back, I just have Aaron Jones, Austin Eckler, and Chris Carson. Obviously, we only did this 14 rounds. Now is where I would start to try and fill out some running back depth with some upside guys. But I mean, to me, it's just not worth it picking running backs from rounds like 10 to 14 because they just stink. They're all like, Raheem Mostert's not a bad guy, but like picking Anthony McFarland and like Tony Pollard and stuff and Nyheim Hines, like these guys are not getting on the field unless someone's getting injured, which is the case for a lot of running backs. But quarterbacks, I have Justin Fields, Aaron Rodgers, Baker Mayfield, and then I got Dallas Goedert and Eric Ebron at tight end. So I think I got a pretty well-balanced team. I got a good mix of youth and veterans there. I think this team could compete right now. Yeah, definitely. So Tyler, you can take over yours as well. You got
kind of looking at my team. Yeah, absolute stack of quarterbacks. That was the goal. I just, I never really do that. I normally stick to 3 quarterbacks and call it a day, but I took 4 this time. I got Tannehill, Goff, Tannehill and Burrow as my starters. Derek Carr and Goff to kind of play in for Burrow until I'm pretty confident that he's back to form. 4 quarterback stack is really, really juicy. At the time, I was drafting 4 quarterbacks and 4 teams only had 1 quarterback at the time, so I felt really good about that. Throw on top the fact that I got McCaffrey at the 102. So guys, do not feel pressured to take a quarterback at the 102. It still works out for you, and you still have a really good haul if you just keep.
I would glad like Christian McCaffrey is my 102. I don't want to pick. I don't think that. Because basically what I hear when I say quarterback at the 102 is that there's someone who's a 1B to Patrick Mahomes, and I don't think that's the case.
Yeah, correct.
The only quarterback at this given state that I would value in that top 3 with Mahomes and McCaffrey would be Josh Allen.
To me, it's Lamar Jackson. For fantasy purposes,
he scares me.
So the way I look at Lamar Jackson, he's going to get extended. He's going to get a new contract. And for fantasy purposes, he is a guy that will put up similar production to Patrick Mahomes for the next couple of years.
I don't know, man.
Josh Allen and him are like neck and neck for me, but like I like from a fantasy perspective, those two guys are the next 2 quarterbacks for me.
I mean, I currently have Lamar at quarterback 5. Actually, with Watson, with all the shit going on with him, he's going to be my quarterback 4. I have Dak at 3 right now, and I know for a fact that if Dak's going into the season healthy, he's the other one with those 4 guys that could produce that top of the line elite type fantasy production.
I have Dak at 4, so he's not a guy that I'm like out on or anything.
Yeah, no, and I think that top 4 right now, given the situation with Watson, is a tier now. You see 107 here.
I'll continue rapid fire on. This is why you wait on wide receivers. You wait on wide receivers for the fact that Devontae Adams fell to me at 302. Now, is that going to happen in every draft? No. But the run on running backs, the run on quarterbacks in SuperFlex leagues, people literally forget about the wide receiver. And that's fine, because we were talking earlier in the stream about how great some of the runs are in like the 8th round when I was able to get Thielen. But getting a guy like Devontae Adams is going to be the wide receiver 1, or at least right up there.
And that's the thing with this range of the draft too, is the 2nd and 3rd round, people are like, oh my God, look at all the running backs going off the board. And they're like, yo, I need to get a running back. So like, I mean, what we had only Tyreek and AJ Brown go before the like end of the 2nd round. Like there was no wide receivers other than Tyreek and AJ Brown picked before that. So you were getting very, very high end receiver production in the 3rd round. And if you went running back quarterback or running back in the first 2 rounds, then you would have been able to take advantage of some of the elite wide receivers dropping.
Now, Corey,
don't fear that. Oh, sorry, I
was going to say, Corey, if you didn't get auto picked, would you have taken Lamar?
I get who are the running backs picked right after that?
JT, Cook, Swift.
No, I probably would have picked Jonathan Taylor.
Okay, fair.
Because so I have Lamar ranked as my QB3 right now, but I don't pick quarterbacks in the 1st round unless I'm
quarterback 2.
Huh? Josh Allen.
Quarterback 2. Oh, I thought you said Lamar would be.
No. Okay, so those guys are like neck and neck. Like it's honestly, I actually thought Lamar was my QB2. It's Josh Allen, but they're neck and neck. So but the thing is, to me, is like I never have to make that decision because I'm never going to pick a quarterback in the 1st round.
That's fair. Well, I mean, I always do, especially on the.
I want an elite workhorse running back. That's the way I look at it. It's the way I've always looked at Dynasty, and like Jonathan. If you're telling me Jonathan Taylor over Lamar Jackson over the next couple of years, I'm going to take Jonathan Taylor every single time. Same with Josh Allen too. I would take Jonathan Taylor over Josh Allen every single time.
And then finishing my quick wrap up, you can still get a really good running back later on if you do wait till like the end of the 4th or 5th round, basically. And I got David Montgomery to add on to my Christian McCaffrey, so that was really nice. Got a few rookies in there. Obviously, we talked about the tight end stack. Don't really need to get into that. Grab Michael Carter as well. Bench looks pretty good because I grabbed 2 rookies to go along with Jarvis Landry, who's always just a really great plug and play whenever you need him. So that's kind of my roster.
But yeah, so you guys can see that, and I'll quickly go over mine. So on the turn here, very on Brown to me. I like taking the 2 quarterbacks, especially on that
same 2 guys too.
Yeah, Dak and Deshaun. I mean, it's classic. It's bread and butter. You pair these 2 guys, both Texas boys. Well, Deshaun maybe not for too much longer, and
they get banished from the state of Texas.
Yeah, you love to see it.
Texas left everything up.
At the 3-4 turn, I'm really satisfied. I got 2 top 15 running backs for me in Dynasty, falling to me at the end of the 3rd area. Was that 36th and 37th overall? Talking about Travis Etienne, he is currently my RB2. Corey's RB1. Tyler, I believe he's your RB2 as well. I mean, this guy's just juice. This guy's just juice. You watch the guy play, he's going to get top 50 draft capital minimum, probably top 40. And he's the type of player in fantasy where Corey said it multiple times. You need that 80-yard touchdown. You need that big play to happen. He can give you that. Javonte Williams linked to a ton of really good workhorse type landing spots. We've seen this guy on film, one of the most elusive runners we've seen come out in quite some time. Absolutely love that. He is a better Josh Jacobs from what I've seen and what I've watched. So take that with how you'd like. You see the run on receivers here, 4 in a row. I mean, speaks for itself. I don't really have to clarify a lot of these guys. Yeah. Damon Harris in the 9th round, slated to be the starting running back for the Patriots right now.
He's a guy I really like. It's like, so I picked, where did I pick Chris Carson? Like the 7th round or 8th round? He's a guy, if Damian Harris was on the board for me at that point, he would have been my 4th running back, and then I would have been really satisfied with my running back core. Having Jones, Eckler, Carson, and Damian Harris, like that's a great running back core in my opinion, because I didn't have to spend really premium draft capital on it. and I would still have like 4 very productive running backs next year and probably the next couple of years.
Yeah, 100%. And if this is going to be Damian Harris's value spot at like the 9th, 10th round area,
Yeah,
I think it's crazy to me. I mean, this guy had a really good finish to the end of the year last year. Sony Michel is a bum if he's not hurt. They have really a bunch of Jags filling out. I mean, James White is leaving. You got Rex Burkhead there. He got hurt again last year. Damian Harris is the one known commodity that we know is going to get work for the Patriots next year. They're already improving the team. Yeah. The offensive line is coming back.
Is he going to get a 70% snap share? No. Like no New England running back ever does. But is he going to get 15 carries every single week? Probably.
Yeah, and what running back are you drafting in the 9th round, end of the 9th round, to get 60+% snaps?
Yeah,
like if this guy gives me,
he's a back end RB2 for dynasty purposes. He's probably capped as like a mid RB2 in redraft too, maybe a high end RB2 depending how good the offense is. But he's a dude that's going to need touchdowns. He's going to need maybe a little bit of an uptick in the receiving game, but he's a guy that I really like as like a 3rd, 4th running back in dynasty and in redraft, to be honest.
Yeah, I mean, he's currently my RB 27 in dynasty, so getting him in the 9th round I think is a steal. 10th round here, I got Jameis Winston. Again, we've talked about it a bunch of times. He did get that $12 million deal from the New Orleans Saints. I know it's a quote-unquote battle right now, but if Jameis Winston is not the starter for the New Orleans Saints this year, I will be heavily surprised. And if that's the case, if he's the starter for the Saints, I expect fringe quarterback 1 type production. I think he's got that in him if he gets the starting role. So, I mean, 10th round, take a shot on him, whatever. Irv Smith, you guys all know how much we like him. Brandon Cooks, Michael Gallup. I mean, Brandon Cooks basically 1,000 yards every single year, freer than free. And Michael Gallup going to be a free agent next year and had 1,100 yards as a second-year player. Rounding it off, Hayden Hurst.
Just a second tight end. Yeah. That kind of stinks, but we'll see what he does. Maybe he can improve next year.
Yeah, sounds good. But overall, that was a draft. Hopefully you guys enjoyed, and glad to see you guys fill this up. I mean, Tyler did his work. We got like 7 people just to come in within 10 minutes. You love to see it.
Thank you, Nerd Herd and Dynasty Trades FF group chat. You guys are great. Like, we love you guys. You guys coming close, even though I never talked to you guys. No offense. I love you, though.
Absolutely. Yeah. Anything else you guys want to address before we head out of here?
No, we can head out of here. Enjoy your. I don't know where you guys are, but it's freaking beautiful right now outside. So I'm going outdoors. Tyler lives in Florida, so we all hate him. But
it's 69 degrees right now. Very nice.
I mean, it's like, honest to God, dude, it's probably like close to that in Canada right now.
Yeah, I might go
warm out.
I might go rip some soccer with the boys in a bit. We'll see what happens. I also got to get my workout in because grind never stops. Right?
Yeah, Danny works out like 6 hours a day. So
maybe next week we'll do my jersey giveaway. I don't know. I'm kind of loose with it. Whenever we want to eventually do it.
True.
Loosey goosey. Very nice.
All right. Peace out, guys. Thanks for joining.